Hi, I'm Chelsea Husum, your host of the Lip Service and Lashes podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, author, speaker, and mom of two. And I'm so tired of women not feeling like they can show up as fully expressed versions of themselves. So here, we're all about that unapologetically, because honestly, we don't have time not to. Literally because we're busy as F moms and entrepreneurs, but also figuratively because we don't know how much time we have on this planet and we want to make an impact now. But if we're doing this, we're making it real vibes only. So let's get inspired, laugh our asses off, quite possibly cry, and feel like you're sitting on the couch with your bestie and a glass of wine. I'm so happy you're here. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Lip Service and Lashes podcast. I'm your host, Chelsea Husum. I am so glad you are here. Okay, today I want to talk about some craziness, some child craziness. Let's just be honest. It's a child craziness issue I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to call this burn the house down times two, really, because I'm going to share literally two specific instances where my younger son, Wyatt, AKA the honey badger, if you read my book, you read a lot about the honey badger, that's how I lovingly refer to him. But I'm going to share two ways that he literally tried to burn the house down. And it wasn't on purpose. It's just him living his best life and vibing and going through life as he is. Then he accidentally almost burns the house down. So anyway, the first time, I remember this was a couple years ago, and I remember he was up in our bedroom watching TV, and he's watching SpongeBob or something, and he's just up there relaxing, and I'm downstairs just I don't know if you're like me, but I consistently wander the house, and then I'm like, oh, here's some socks on the floor, I'll get those, and just cleaning up, putting shit in its place, just I don't even know what I was doing. I'm just kind of sweeping through the house, just organizing, putting shit away that my kids have strewn all over. And I remember I was just kind of wandering around at this point, but I felt this random urge to go upstairs, and I really had no reason to. I was just I'm just going to go upstairs right now. Thank God I did. So I go upstairs and I walk into my bedroom and I'm like, oh my God, what's that smell? Calling all badass moms and entrepreneurs ready to stop surviving and start thriving. Y'all, I am officially opening spots for one-on-one mentorship. This is designed exclusively for the women who know they're meant for more, but feel stuck in the chaos of balancing business, motherhood, and everything in between. I'm not just another coach. I'm a proven business owner who's built an award-winning company, written a best-selling book, launched a podcast, and built a platform, all while raising a family. If you're ready to get unstuck and take bold action, master time management and boundaries, build an unshakable CEO mindset, and prioritize your energy without guilt, then let's make your next level happen. Faster, smarter, and with zero apologies. This is not for the excuse makers. It's only for women ready to go all in on themselves. Remember, spots are limited, so if you are interested, head on over now to Instagram and send me a DM with the word mentorship. I cannot wait to talk to you, girl. Wyatt, what's that smell? Okay, mind you, this child is standing in my room completely naked, and he's zoned out. So I had to say it a few times, dude, what is that smell? And he finally looks at me with this blank look on his face and really never responds. And I'm freaking out at this point. And I look up in the light and I'm seeing smoke up in the fan, up in the light. I'm seeing smoke rising. I'm oh my God, something's on fire. So I scream for my husband. He hurries and comes upstairs and gets the little footstool ladder thing. And he pulls out Wyatt's underwear from the, like, so apparently Wyatt had been just wearing his underwear and he felt the need to like get naked and take off the underwear all of a sudden. And so he naturally, apparently, this is where his brain went, just threw it. I don't know. And it landed up like inside the light in the fan. And it was literally starting on freaking fire, you guys. Like, oh my God. And so Bobby grabs it and then he throws it out onto my white carpet, which, if you know anything about fire stuff, like carpet is extremely flammable as well. And it's like literally smoldering and there are like small flames starting in this little tiny kid underwear. And I'm like, so then I scream and I grab it and I run and throw it in the tub and like start putting water on it. And like, I was shaking. I was like, oh my God, what if I hadn't got the super freaking random urge to walk upstairs at that time? Like, again, I said, I didn't even like need to go upstairs to do anything. I just randomly thought, oh, I'm going to go upstairs. And thank God I did, because the freaking house, like if I wouldn't have gone up there at that moment, there legit would have been like flames, like big flames by the time by the time he actually like snapped out of his like trance watching SpongeBob and like was like turned around, was like, oh shit, the house is on fire. Maybe I should tell mom and dad, like that's where we would have been. And it really could have been really bad. But yeah, so like, again, like I always, if you read my book, you know why I trust my gut instinct. If you didn't, I forget what I named that chapter about my ex-boyfriend. Yeah, go back and read it or, check it out. Cause I always will trust my gut instinct. And when I just feel this weird pull to do something, like I listen to it. And again, this was like, yep, you should definitely listen to your intuition because you stopped your house from being burnt down. Okay. So that was part one, time one, let's say, that he accidentally legit almost tried to burn the house down. Part two was more recent. It was like, that was a few months ago. And gosh, I don't even remember what I was doing, but he loves to go. Wyatt literally gets into every freaking thing. Like I will come into my office and my desk and he's like pulled out like USB drives and little clickers and old phones and old laptops. And I like, the child legit like freaking is getting into everything. He loves like taking stuff apart and seeing how things work. And like, he loves like gadgets. And so it's like, that's like a full-time job, just trying to like get him to stop getting into your shit all the freaking time. But so for some reason that day he was in the crawl space, which again, he doesn't need to be in there. There's like a bunch of Christmas decorations, Halloween stuff, suitcases, and just random stuff. Apparently, I have a box of back when we had like a bigger camper or something, apparently I cleaned it out. I put a box of camping stuff in there, never to touch it again, which I should probably go through that. But that's for another day. But so I knew he was down there messing around with something, and I didn't want him to just, he's just going through everything, like making a mess or just whatever. So I was like, oh my God, I need to go down there. I walked down there and I'm like, oh my God, what's that smell? Apparently, I keep saying, what's that smell? Apparently, I have a pretty decent nose. But this time, I smelled the sulfur from like a match. And I'm like, did you light a match? No. Dude, did you light a match? Like, you need to tell me now. This is important. Because I'm thinking, if he did light a match, it's either lit somewhere and smoldering or something, right? Like soon this whole crawl space is going to freaking burst into flames. So I'm like, Wyatt, did you light a match? No. He's like totally lying to my face. I'm like, oh my God, child. And I'm like freaking out because I literally am envisioning like that he lit a match, freaked out. And even if he blew it out, he threw it somewhere, let's say. But we all know like that could still start a fire. So I'm like, imagining something smoldering God knows where in this crawl space and the Christmas decorations, that would probably just light up in flames in a second. And I'm like freaking out. I go upstairs to Bobby. I'm like, come see, do you smell sulfur? Like, do you smell something? And so we're, trying to figure this out. And then eventually he's like way later, he's like, yeah, Mom, I did. And I'm like, because I looked down in the camping box and I was like, oh, you mean you weren't touching these matches, child? I guarantee he was. It's like this big box of matches. I was like, oh my God. Again, how did his little eyeballs see that? They were like tucked way down, kind of on the side. Like he sniffs out stuff that he can just like get into. Ugh. And so he finally admits it. I'm like, where did you put the match? Like now I'm like trying to like harass him to tell me where he put the match. And he finally did. I can't even remember where it was. It was, I don't know. It was somewhere else. But my God, I'm like, dude, can we not like literally continue to try to burn the family home down? Like I really don't want to lose everything we own and all our memories and everything because you're a little stinker and you get into freaking everything all the time. Like this is just my day-to-day life, guys. Like I could go on and on and on about the random shit and stuff that happens because this child is just getting into stuff. But thankfully, we still have a home. Until next time, I pretty much guarantee there's going to be a third time when this child tries to burn the house down because like that's just not like he's trying to, but he's just getting into shit. And then that's a natural consequence of getting into shit, right? So yeah, that's fun times in our house. And I'm really happy to say that we currently do have a home. And I should probably, if I'm being smart, go video like the whole home. So, for insurance purposes, when they're like, oh, your house is worth $200,000 and, it's obviously way, like your house is worth way more than that to like rebuild. And then you think of all the random things you've accumulated over the years. Yeah, it's like probably a smart move on my part to do that. So maybe I'll have to go do that just to hold on to that and maybe upload it to the cloud so it doesn't burn down with the video camera or whatever. If and when that time comes, fingers crossed, please pray for us. But yeah, got to share. I will share. I'm always good for all these crazy mom life stories because man, I just got so many. And especially with my little honey badger, it's like it's his job in life to just feed me great content. He also, many of you know, but 2 days before Christmas last year, he shaved his eyebrows off as well, or him and his brother. It was like a joint effort. Shaved his eyebrows off and a bunch of his hair, like his hairline, he shaved it up on the top and the back, like inches. So he had a massive forehead and then no eyebrows. It was just like, I went up and I literally just burst out laughing and I was like trying to like scold him and be mad. But I was like, dude, you look ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I can't even sugarcoat it. Like, oh my God, why? So yeah, there's just always fun times in my life. My life is never dull and I love my life, but it's interesting. It's interesting. And then you get to listen and hopefully laugh and be like, wow, sounds like a total shit show over there. But thanks for listening, everyone. Tune in for more crazy business, mom life, whatever, all the stuff. I love to share it. But always remember, no BS, just real vibes. And I'll see you next time on Lip Service and Lashes. If you loved the episode, share it on Instagram and tag me so I can say thank you and meet you. Or share it with a girlfriend who you know would love this too. Always remember, no BS, just real vibes. See you next time on Lip Service and Lashes.